Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Snapbacks and Bow Ties. I am your host, Michael Fabe, and this is the Fabe 4 Week 14 edition. Oh my gosh, we are almost there to the playoffs. I cannot even express my excitement. We pretty much have playoff games going on this whole weekend, Sunday and Monday. Great games across the board. I'm beyond excited. This Fave 4 is presented by Spritz City Bistro. So you're here to eat up my picks. But what better way to eat up my picks than to be enjoying Spritz City Bistro, where you can get some of the best meals in historic downtown Stuart that is located at 61 Southwest Osceola Street. They have menu items for absolutely every single dietary preference. You have gluten-free, vegan, and then you have the big old protein to get you all jacked up for all the bodybuilders out there. But make sure that you are eating clean, eating right, and do that with Spritz City Bistro, where you will find the best products and the freshest products in downtown historic Stuart. And with that being said, it is time to eat up some picks, pun intended. We're going to sit here and eat. And with that, we're going to open it up right here in South Florida. The Miami Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs. You have the number one offense versus the number two defense in the NFL. Now, two teams that are on completely different trends from what they were a year ago. The Dolphins were in the bottom half of the league as far as against the spread, whereas now they're sitting lonely at the top at 9-3, exceeding all expectations set forth, including the ones set by Vegas. Flores, I think, will be able to establish a good spy on Patrick Mahomes through his linebackers, and also he'll be able to contain Travis Kelce. I also think that Xavier Howard is going to do a fantastic job of covering Tyreek Hill, but even more, I'm excited to watch the Tua versus Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes gets to come back to the place where he won his first Super Bowl last year and torched the San Francisco 49ers, and Tua gets to establish himself as a young player in this league, taking on the alpha male of them all, Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going to go with the money line. We are going to drop the points. This is going to be a trend that we're going to see today. A lot of money line picks. I'm excited. We're going to drop the points. I'm dropping 7 points, and I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins money line. Now, mind you, I have people chattering. Kansas City, they could clinch the division with the win. I understand that. I think Flores and the boys are ready to play. They need this game more. And the Dolphins win. The Cardinals and the Giants. Two teams that you would think we were not going to be talking about at the beginning of this year. Now you're talking about a Cardinals team trying to fight for a playoff spot, and the New York Giants, under the leadership of Colt McCoy and Joe Judge. No Saquon Barkley. No Daniel Jones. You have Colt McCoy and Joe Judge. The Giants are on a 4-game win streak. They are 8-4 against the spread this year compared to the Cardinals 6-6. They are number 8 against the rush, or a number 8 ranked defense, and they're dominant against the rush. Whereas the Cardinals have the number 8 ranked offense, and they're extravagant through the air. Here's the issue. The Giants are bottom tier in offense, and the Cardinals are mediocre at best and defense. I think the Giants come out on top for some odd reason. Once again, cash in that money line, drop down to 2.5 points, and put it on the Giants. Go to the money line. Let's live large today. It's week 14, pretty much the playoffs. Scratching some points in some games. I'm not taking them. We're taking 2 money lines back to back right now. Vikings and the Buccaneers. Vikings need this game. Buccaneers also need this game for a confidence booster and to get their mentality right. If your mentality's not right, you're not in the right shape. You're not in a good position. You're fucked. So therefore, I'm going to go with the Buccaneers win the game. But I think the Vikings are able to cover the 7-point spread. The Buccaneers have been a great defensive team. They've been subpar on offense, whereas the Vikings have been middle of the road through and through. The Vikings, though, they've started 0-3. Now they're up to 6-6. You have the Buccaneers. They started 6-2. Now they're at 7-5. Two teams need to get back on track. Who wants it more? The Buccaneers are coming off a bye, so I think they get the win. But do they get it over 7? I don't believe so. Minnesota, another dog. 3 straight dogs. Let's go. Keep the dogs rolling. So next, we have the Colts and the Raiders. The Raiders. So both teams are 7-5 against the spread. Dead even. Locked in. Both teams are mediocre. Locked in. Both teams have quarterbacks I can't trust. Locked in. Both are in a must-win situation to increase their playoff chances. This is going to be the most underrated game of Week 14. For real. The most underrated game. Don't be surprised if it goes well over the over-under points that is set for. I believe it's probably around 50. But 2 teams that are mediocre, just trying to stay in contention for the playoffs. But with that being said, I'm a surrogate Miami Dolphins fan being now here in South Florida. And I know that if the Raiders win, it increases the chances for the Dolphins to get into the playoffs, especially if they beat the Chiefs. So I'm going with the Raiders. Also, shout out to all my followers from Rancho Cucamonga, Etowanda, the California area, all where my family is from. I'm wearing the Raiders, the old school Raiders, Oakland style, not LA, not Las Vegas yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not sold. But I got the Raiders today. Some of you might call that the kiss of death. Some of you might call that fate. Who knows? We're going to find out. Next, the Steelers and the Bills. The Bills are favored by 2.5 points, and I think they cover every last bit of that. Pittsburgh got exposed last week against their offensive line. It's weak. They're not able to establish a rush game. They're able to torch you through the air, which, ironically enough, the Bills, who I thought had one of the top 5 secondaries in the NFL, has actually been bottom tier, middle of the road as against the pass this year. Been better against the run. The Bills, though, this is what's going to be. This is where it's end all be all. We are going to be in Buffalo on Sunday night. It's going to be nighttime, cold. You're looking at about 37, 35 degrees with about 8% chance to 15% chance of rain. Then on top of it, Steelers, 29th in rush yards. You're going to need to be able to pound the rock in Buffalo to beat them. I'm going with the Bills. And it's not because of my biasness towards Pittsburgh. It's because of the way that Pittsburgh played against Washington, where it's at, how the weather's going to be. So many factors coming into this. Pittsburgh, best defense in the NFL. Buffalo Bills trending towards a Super Bowl contender. You gotta love it. Love to see it. Pittsburgh loses. And this is where the next game becomes even more important. It's the Browns and the Ravens. The 2 teams that hate each other the most in the AFC North. Wins and losses, we'll say nothing about it. Baltimore started in Cleveland, was in Baltimore now. Art Modell's dead. Cleveland fans want to piss on his grave. Now you got a chance, Cleveland fans, to finally stick it to him. Finally. And move into a complete another driver's seat of the playoffs with a win against Baltimore in Cleveland on Monday night. And what's more 2020 than that? There's going to be no fans in the stands, only a select few that are graciously allowed and afforded to go to the game. And with that being said, it will not be the atmosphere that we are looking for in First Energy. But what I am looking for is Baker Mayfield is 11 touchdowns, 1 interception, and that one lonely interception was the Cincinnati Bengals game against where was the Cincinnati Bengals game where Odell Beckham Jr. got hurt. That's where Baker's been on a tear, been on an absolute tear. I like the Browns. I'm going to drop the 2.5 points. I think Myles Garrett and company, Sheldon Richardson, are able to generate a pass rush and able to contain Lamar Jackson. I think Denzel Ward won't be playing, so you will see Lamar Jackson being able to take advantage of that. But I got my Brownies. Browns are trending in the right direction, looking to be Super Bowl contenders, and this is where I'm going to ride with them always and thoroughly. And they never proved me wrong ever before in 28 years. Why would they do it now? So make sure you follow along at SAB Podcast Show. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Then don't be afraid to go on to your Apple Podcast, maybe even your Spotify, because I know you guys are listening to music, especially that new Kid Cudi album, which was fire. But go over to there, type in snapbacks and bow ties into the search bar, press add, Make sure that you subscribe and follow along. You will never miss a podcast, an interview, a bet ever. Thank you for joining in, and enjoy your week 14. God bless. Take care. Love you all.